Okay, so on Friday, I went to dinner with some girls, and we were sitting. I mean, I had a great view of these 7th graders who just came from their middle school dance.
Ooh.
And
Wait, how late was this?
we ate dinner at 7:30, and the dance had already happened.
Is that they got early dances these days?
It's daylight savings dances, I guess.
But it was very clear what age they were because the girls looked 5 years older than the boys.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, every boy was shorter than all the girls. And I was entertained. I barely talked to my friends because I was watching this interaction.
Katie does that. I don't know. Is this a girl thing or maybe just a weird Katie thing where we'll just be sitting on a plane or somewhere at like dinner together on like a date, and then maybe we'll won't say a word for a couple minutes. So then she just likes to tune into someone else's. She's like, did you hear what they just said? No, I'm not listening to them.
Or we'll leave and I'll be like, can you believe this couple was talking about this at dinner?
Yeah.
So, any good juicy deets?
That's what I do. Yeah.
Well, it's very entertaining. At one point they were all just like whispering, like the girls were whispering to the boys and the boys were whispering to the other boys, and like there was not a lot of cross communication, at that age. It was either on the phone or whispering, or the parent chaperone came over and the dad just came over. They were sitting somewhere else. He came over. He's like, everything good? And the girl whose dad it was, I mean, she turned as red as that wall. She was mortified. But what was even funnier,
Dad, you promised you wouldn't come over here.
is the mom came over and all the boys were like, oh, hey, Mrs. Smith. Like they were.
For good reason?
Yeah.
Wow, good for her. Where were you? What kind of place?
It was just
Did
like
some graders go? Get a Pizza Hut or something?
Yeah.
Girls' night.
Where were you? The Oak Park Mall?
It was just like a bar and grill type place.
Okay.
But some of the boys had sweaters tied around their shoulders. I mean, it was just such an interesting, the girls' dresses were, tight, barely covering anything. Whoa. It was very entertaining.
Man.
I can see me as a dad of like a middle school girl someday legitimately taking offense to her being embarrassed by me. It seems like it's a lose-lose, right? That dad probably went over there and was just very normal. Hey, you guys doing okay? Everything
That's exactly,
all right?
yeah.
And there's no other way to approach that. And the girl's just like, oh, Dad, why you got to be so awkward?
I'm so sorry I have a dad, guys.
She buried her head and her friends came around her and surrounded her and she's like, no. It was so funny.
It would be tough for me to handle that. I'm like, how do I ask if you're okay?
Oh, and none of them ate any of their food. They were all too nervous to eat, so they left. The waitress and us were horrible. Having a conversation about it the whole time. All the food was still on the table. They were too nervous to eat, except the 3 boys who sat at another table next to them. They ate all their food. They were smart.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Bachelors.
Yeah. They were the bachelors.
Yeah. No worries.
Yep.
Wow. I remember going to the movies in middle school with my family around the holidays. There's a group of my classmates there in our town's movie theater. I remember just being humiliated that I had a loving family.
Yeah.
To look back on it now, half these kids I'm thinking of were from broken, terrible homes. I'm like, gosh, lucky them. They don't have to be there. This is humiliating. Imagine Derek's kids as a family man. This is what they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Just this present father all the time.
I'm
checking on you, kids.
I'm still in the phase where when I go pick up my daughter from daycare, it's cool to see dad. Hey, my dad's here. You guys see this?
Yeah.
That's gonna break my heart when that switches.
Be a weird shift. We have a family friend who he's he has a kid in, I don't know, middle school, high school, but they adopted later in life. So he's older than all the parents. I guess that he has to drop his son off down the street so they don't see his old dad.
Oh.
Oh.
I guess you just deal with that then. You're like, in a few years we'll laugh at this, but all right. I'll just hide my face.
Hide the old dad.
Wow.
Man.
I remember getting arguments with my parents. You've got to basically ask them to not exist. And my dad would be I'm going to walk in there. I'm like, oh, it's so embarrassing.
Tonight, could you maybe not be around during parent-teacher conferences?
Yeah.
No, I have to be there. This is the only time I can be there.
I remember walking down the aisle, Katie was bright red. She's like, Dad.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
I know you paid for this.
Also,
but
in
couldn't
front of
you
all my
just not-
friends.
Yeah.
It's just humiliating.
Jeez.
I also feel like it gets brought up a lot, the whole difference between like, you know, my generation versus generation now and like what we look like. And like those girls like knew how to do their makeup, their hair.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
I did not look like that going to my 7th grade dance at all.
Yeah, I think just the information age, right? Everyone knows how to do. They've got 10 different people they follow on TikTok who teach them how to do
Right,
makeup.
yeah.
So it's like, why would I not use this?
And they can see it. My only reference was my friends and Teen magazine, Teen Vogue.
For like what it could look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I see.
That was what, and yeah, I just did my best.
Teen Vogue.
Yeah.
Were you pretty Vogue?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You were probably built like the Vogue models in middle school. Like
Yeah.
90 pounds.
That was the other funny thing watching them and just thinking when I was that age, I was 5'8" already.
Wow.
And probably not even 100 pounds. So I was just looking at this and I was like, man, I looked super awkward for sure.
Middle school years, man. Those are brutal.
They were.
That's great. We need to start going to the suburbs from Friday night dinner more often.
Yeah.
Let's go to a prom.
Yeah.
Would that be weird?
Yeah, I was gonna say skip the middle part. Just go to a middle school dance.
We can just chaperone. We can just call it
Yeah.
school. We're not parents or anything. We just really want to chaperone.
So I'm here to gather,
Please.
gather information.
You see where I'm a comedian and we need content.
We're always looking for young, up and coming material. So just on the lookout.
Not creepy at all.